Another moment of Bundesliga history beckons for Bayern München as they play host to bogey team Augsburg. With a win tonight in the Matchday 2 curtain closer, the reigning and record title holders would become the first side in Bundesliga history to break the 4,000 point mark all time. An expectant Allianz Arena awaits as Harry Kane makes his first start on home soil, buoyed by scoring on his debut and the safe arrival of his fourth child last weekend. Hello and welcome one and all to the Allianz Arena, the state-of-the-art home of Bayern München, which tonight opens its doors for its first Bundesliga match of the season. You're joining us here on Bayern's Webradio service. My name's James Surrogate, and I'd like to extend the warmest of welcomes to wherever in the world you're tuning in from. Last weekend, Bayern made a winning start to the Bundesliga season with a convincing 4-0 win in Bremen. Head coach Thomas Tuchel praised the lack of ups and downs in Bayern's performance, while Harry Kane credited the substitutions for killing off a game in which 3 of the 4 goals came after the 74th minute. The England captain, it's fair to say, he gave Bayern fans a real taste of what's to come in his Bundesliga debut. Yes, he got a goal, and yes, he got an assist, but there was much more to admire about the impact that he made, and in such a short time with the club as well. Tonight he makes his first start here at the Allianz Arena as Bayern look to make it 2 wins out of 2 in the league. So before we go any further, let's go through the team use, starting with the Bayern lineup. There's just one enforced change to the side that beat Bremen. Jamal Musiala is expected to be out for a couple of weeks with a hamstring injury. Tonight he's replaced by Serge Gnabry, who missed out through injury last weekend. Therefore it's a 4-2-3-1 formation. Sven Ulreich in goal, Mazraoui at right back, Upamecano and Min-Jae Kim at centre back, Alphonso Davies on the left. In holding midfield, it's Goretzka and Kimmich once again. And the 3-man front line behind the lone striker of Harry Kane is made up of Leroy Sané, Serge Gnabry and Kingsley Coman. As for Augsburg, head coach Enrico Maaßen, he's named an unchanged side for the first time since January, following the 4-4 draw against Borussia Mönchengladbach. 4-4-2 system. Finn Dahmen in goals, Arne Engels, Maximilian Bauer, Udo Kai and Mads Pedersen make up the back line. Ruben Vargas, Elvis Rekspejai, Niklas Dorsch and Ermedin Demirovic are in midfield, while Mergin Berisha and Sven Michel are up front as we get the action underway. Bayern with the first kick of the game. They're going from right to left in their new home kit inspired by the 1965 campaign. White top, red shorts, red socks. Augsburg, meanwhile, in all green, going from left to right here at the Allianz Arena. James Surrogate, your pre-match commentator for this Matchday 2 encounter in the Bundesliga. And it has to be said, so good to be back here at the Allianz Arena. The Südkurve to my right in fine voice. Just listen to the roar of the home crowd here early doors. It's fair to say the U-Bahn on the U6 line was jam-packed once again, full of Bayern fans who were eager to go to the game today, but they were also quite eager to get away from the rain, because after a few weeks of scorching heat and glorious sunshine, it's been tipping it down for the best part of 48 hours in Munich, though the rain right now holding off in Frutmanning. It's fair to say those spirits have not been dampened. It's worth noting that a win by 2 goals or more tonight would see Bayern return to the top of the Bundesliga, where they intend to stay until matchday 34 for a 12th straight season. Right now, Augsburg with a throw-in inside their own half. Both sides feeling each other out in the opening 90 seconds. Enrico Maaßen, the Augsburg head coach, talking about wanting to make life difficult for Bayern. Important for his side to make a positive start, but important for Thomas Tuchel and his charges to prevent that from happening. He was pleased by the amount of control they had in the game against Werder Bremen. Said it was a good balance between controlled play and fast bursting attacks forward. They'll be looking to strike that same balance here as Goretzka finds Gnabry out wide on the right. He's closed down by Mads Pedersen, who comes away with the ball. Throw into Augsburg now on the far side, just past the halfway line. Augsburg are Bayern's bogey team when you consider the fact that they've won 2 of the last 4 meetings between these two sides, but it's worth noting that those 2 wins both came in Augsburg and not here at the Allianz Arena. Their record here in Munich is not as pleasant reading. This their 13th trip to the Allianz Arena. In the previous 12 they've won 1, they've drawn 1 and they've lost 10. And that win came back in May of 2015. Right now Ruben Vargas knocking it down to Rex Bajai, tries to move the ball on, but Augsburg can't recycle. Bauer wins the ball, but they've left themselves exposed at the back. It's Udukai in a foot race with Gnabry, but Udukai covers the ground well and does get across to prevent Serge Gnabry from posing a real threat there. But an early sight of a counter-attack for Bayern. Harry Kane dropped deep, Maximilian Bauer came with him. Serge Gnabry, Leroy Sané, Kingsley Coman were all ready to make the run beyond him. Maximilian Bauer maybe not paying attention to the pre-match scouting notes, because that was exactly how Bayern opened the scoring against Bremen. For now, Davies is in the box, in behind, down the left. Cut back to Serge Gnabry, is cut out by Mads Pedersen. Bayern looking very lively in the opening exchanges here, buoyed by the home crowd, who have been in fine voice so far. Right now, Min-Jae Kim with the ball, playing it back to Upamecano just inside the Bayern half. Kim now breaking the lines to find Kingsley Coman. First touch lets him down, but it comes to Davies. Now back to Kingsley Coman, cutting infield. In the centre circle is Leon Goretzka now with the ball. He shifts it out wide on the right to Noussair Mazraoui. Now on to Leroy Sané. Plenty of green shirts for Augsburg behind the ball. In fact, every outfield player right now is behind the ball. Min-Jae Kim now with Kimmich, who's dropped in between the 2 centre-backs to try and play that quarterback role. Lovely raking pass out to the right for Mazraoui, who's in a pocket of space. He's one-on-one with Erdem Demirovic. Back to Kimmich. Kimmich thought about the strike, thought better of it. Shot blocked in the end, and it's deflected wide for an early corner to Bayern. Well, Kimmich saw a sea of green shirts in front of him there. Decided to chance his arm from range and does earn the corner for Bayern, the first of the match, with just under 5 minutes played, and Joshua Kimmich strolling over to take. Upamecano and Min-Jae both up from the back to pose an aerial threat, but of course Harry Kane, one of the main target men now for Kimmich to aim for. It's off an Augsburg head though, cleared to the edge of the area where Leroy Sané is scrapping away, and he wins it well against 2 Augsburg players. Back out to Kimmich now, with a chance to cross. Kimmich dinks towards the back post. Kane is there, but it's a little long for the England captain. He's going to keep the chance alive though. Ball still in play with Kingsley Coman. Fizzed back in, and Rex Bajai this time with the header for Augsburg. But right now, Augsburg battening down the hatches with an early onslaught from Bayern. Lots of possession for the home side, and the visitors unable to break up their rhythm. Right now with Mazraoui, little 1-2 with Goretzka. They're trying to find the gaps in this Augsburg side. Very different performance from Augsburg from what we saw on match day 1 though. The ball given away in midfield here. Sven Michel looking for the early ball for Megan Berisha. He's trying to get in behind, but Sven Ulreich off his line quickly to quell the threat, and he gets a round of applause from the Zuidkurve behind him. And rightly so. He was alert to the danger there, Sven Ulreich. Of course, news this week that Bayern have brought in a new keeper. Daniel Peretz, the young 24-year-old shot stopper, didn't sign in time to be in the matchday squad today, so Ulreich keeps his place for now. Goretzka, he's looking for the run of Mazraoui down the right. The pass is a little long. Mazraoui doesn't get there. The flag does go up on the far side from the assistant referee. Did his best there to get on the end of that lovely pass from Goretzka. Mazraoui. And for now, we hear the first rendition of Stand Up for Bayern, and the Allianz Arena rises to its feet. Just over 75,000 fans can fit inside this state-of-the-art ground, and today making themselves heard. Right now, the Zuidkurve to my right behind Sven Ulreich's goal is absolutely bouncing, but I can tell you that up to my left in the away section, the Augsburg flags are flying as well. They're trying to make themselves heard, but are struggling against a raucous Bayern crowd. The Allianz Arena opening its doors for the first time this Bundesliga season. Of course, Bayern have lost a game already here in the current campaign. The Super Cup defeat to Leipzig still leaving a sour taste in the mouth of Bayern players and fans. For now, a attacking move for the home side breaks down as the dink pass over the top is gobbled up by Finn Dahmen, the Augsburg goalkeeper. Well, of course, Finn Dahmen, it's worth pointing out, played a big role in Bayern winning the title last season, because on the final day of the season, it was Finn Dahmen and Mainz who denied Borussia Dortmund all 3 points. In a 2-2 draw, Finn Dahmen actually made 10 saves in that game, so you can credit Jamal Musiala with the clutch winner against Köln that won Bayern the title, but you can also tip your hat to the efforts of Finn Dahmen. Now on the books with Augsburg after making the summer switch, and a long ball forward looking for the run of Demirovic. Upamecano dealing well with the danger. Ulreich cool under pressure from Demirovic, and Kim now loose pass out from the back, picked up by Rex Bajai. He feeds a pocket of space, shoots goal. It's blocked by Kimmich. Arne Engels first to the loose ball, tries to get it back in the mix, but the cross is blocked by Coman. Arne Engels with the throw in now for Augsburg, just in front of our commentary position. Ruben Vargas, we've got his heels clipped there by Alphonso Davies. It's going to be a free kick to Augsburg, down by the touchline on this right-hand side. Looks like Arne Engels is going to be the man to take it, the young Belgian right-back. Certainly impressed since joining Augsburg during the January transfer window last season. It's a one-man wall for Bayern, with Leroy Sané getting a few instructions from Sven Ulreich. Plenty of green shirts ready to attack the delivery from Arne Engels, and as a result, Bayern keeping a tight line on the edge of the area. Harry Kane very vocal in talking to his teammates to keep that shape. They've got the runners here. Augsburg, it is flicked in. Mazraoui with the header for Bayern, and they do clear their lines. Leroy Sané going to use all his pace to try and chase this one down against Engels. Engels does well, though, to play it back to Dahmen, and they have worked and released the pressure well here, Augsburg. Dahmen with the long ball forward now. Sven Michel, Ruben Vargas to attack, but both mismatched against Min-Jae Kim, and now Kimmich, early ball looking to play it into feet for Leroy Sané, but Sané was coming back from an offside position, so he let it run through to Finn Dahmen, and no danger there for Augsburg in the end. Joshua Kimmich today making his 350th appearance in all competitions for Bayern. His debut came back in 2015 on the 9th of August in the first round of the DFB Pokal, when Bayern beat Nürtingen, the lower league side. 40 goals to his name, Joshua Kimmich, including 7 in all competitions last season. He is one of the leaders on the pitch. Upamecano, lovely ball into Gnabry. First touch to Sané. Looks for the return pass to Gnabry, and well, Gnabry just waited on it a little bit. On the other hand, you could say Sané didn't quite put enough on the pass. If he'd put a little more pace on it, Gnabry would have been through clean on goal, with just Dahmen to beat. Instead, Arne Engels just able to nip in front of Gnabry and take the ball off his toes. But it was a very good chance there for Bayern as they look to play their way through the lines. A neat 1-2. Gnabry back in the starting lineup, making the desired impact already. The Germany international. And now it'll be Kimmich with another in-swinging corner from this near side. Upamecano is up there, but it just glanced off his head. Bayern still with possession here, and they are absolutely dominating possession so far. Just over 60% with 11 minutes played. Kingsley Coman right now trying to use his pace against Engels. Gets past the Belgian, but only momentarily. Engels gets the block on the cross and puts it behind for another corner, this time on the far side for Bayern. 3 corners already for the reigning and record title holders, as "Let's go Bayern, score a goal" is the chant from the home fans. It's going to be an in-swinger corner from Sané, straight towards goal, and well, Dahmen went to punch, didn't get there. It flashes just across goal, almost an Olympico from Leroy Sané. That's the name given to a goal scored directly from a corner. It needed a bit more whip on it, admittedly, but Bayern should have had another corner, because Finn Dahmen did get his fist to the ball, It just glanced off his gloves and behind for another corner. Bayern's players were quite confident in their appeals, but the referee today, Daniel Siebert, and his assistants didn't quite spot the touch from Finn Dahmen, but not the most confident moment from the Augsburg goalkeeper. Daniel Siebert, our referee today, had to step in at last minute. Sascha Stegemann fell ill. Right now, Alphonso Davies on the ball, cutting infield, finding Kimmich. First time pass to Goretzka. They're having to move the ball quickly and swiftly here, Bayern, but lovely play. Gnabry out wide to Mazraoui. His cross blocked by Pedersen. And as a result, they have to settle for the throw-in, taken quickly. Chance for Goretzka to cross. Instead, he gives it to Mazraoui. Mazraoui takes a touch, back to Goretzka now. Bayern camped out in the Augsburg final third right now. The ball to feet for Alphonso Davies. Out wide now on this near side with Kingsley Coman. Again, he's taking on Engels for pace. This time he digs out the cross. Sané was unmarked at the back post, but Pedersen gets his head to the ball first and puts it behind for yet another corner for Bayern. That is now 4 inside the opening quarter of an hour here at the Allianz Arena. So far, none of their corners have found a Bayern player. Can Leroy Sané change that with another in-swinger from the far side, left-footed? Put a lot of pace on the first and does with the second. Headed clear only as far as Coman. Min-Jae Kim now with a loose ball at his feet. He can't get the shot off, and Augsburg do manage to scramble it away. There is a counter on here for the away side if they move it quickly. Emedin Demirovic looking for the early pass of Sven Michel, but Mazraoui, right place, right time. Wonderful positioning and defending there from the Moroccan right-back, who really is making that right-back role his own this season. Named in the starting lineup in all 3 of Bayern's fixtures so far this season. Of course, he had that COVID complication last season as Niklas Dorsch. Well, first real chance of the game for Augsburg. Fizzes an effort just wide of the near post on the volley from a quick throw-in, a neat 1-2. And he just found a bit of space in the Bayern box. Didn't have a whole lot of time to pick his spot and snatched out the effort. We are still waiting for the first shot on target of the game from either side. A reminder that Bayern, with a win today, would become the first side in Bundesliga history to crack the 4,000 point mark. They currently stand on 3,998, so a draw would not be enough. And if they want to take top spot in the Bundesliga off of Union Berlin, they need to win by a 3-goal difference at the very least today. Certainly not a rare occurrence against Augsburg, it has to be said. Scrappy in midfield, but Leroy Sané comes away with it. Neat 1-2 with Serge Gnabry. And now it's a 3-on-3 break for Bayern. Sané, Coman and Kane. It's out wide to Coman. He's forced a little too wide. Has to check his run. Has kept the ball in play well. He finds support in the form of Davies, but a first touch from Davies just lets him down. Vargas sneaks in, and now Michel gives it away to Goretzka in midfield. Gnabry, he's going to strike from range, but it's always rising. And it's up over the net behind the goal of Finn Dahmen. Second shot of the game for Bayern. Serge Gnabry will expect better of himself in moments like that, because he had a sight of goal. The chance opened up for him, but he was always leaning back, and as a result unable to test Finn Dahmen in the Augsburg goal on that occasion. Right now we've just crossed the quarter-hour mark. In case you're just joining us here on Bayern's web radio service, James Thorogood, your match commentator, here at the Allianz Arena for the first time this Bundesliga season. Bayern looking to make it 2 wins out of 2 to start the campaign. For now, Vargas trying to break in behind. There was a hint of offside about his run, but he's got a bit of pace, but not enough to keep that one in play as it goes out for a goal kick. The angle on the pass there from Niklas Dorsch not doing Ruben Vargas any favours. Augsburg are being ambitious and trying to get in behind the Bayern backline when they can. We saw a bit of a different look from Augsburg in that 4-4 draw with Borussia Mönchengladbach on match day 1. More ambitious, more control of the game. Maybe something Enrico Maaßen, their head coach, is trying to produce with this side. Rekspejai dinked over the top. Upamecano gets his head on the ball and puts it behind for a corner. But I tell you what, he had to get a touch there because Megan Berisha was looking to ghost in behind, and he's a player that Bayern don't need to be warned about the danger and the threat that he poses in front of goal. He's got an incredible record against Bayern, Megan Berisha. 5 goals in 4 games against the Bavarians. He scored 2 during his time with Red Bull Salzburg in Austria when they met in the Champions League against Bayern. And he scored 3 in 2 games for Augsburg. He was, of course, the man that scored the only goal of the game when they won 1-0 at the VVK Arena on match day 7. And he scored 2 of Augsburg's 3 goals in the 5-3 loss on match day 24. For now, corner taken short to Vargas. Played to the edge of the area where Dorsch is waiting. One touch from Dorsch, he strikes. Min Jae Kim gobbles the ball up, and his clearance in the end put back towards goal by Elvis Rekspejai. A very tame effort that was sliced well wide of the target. Not going to trouble Sven Ulreich on that occasion. I tell you what, Augsburg are sensing a chance to maybe make a nuisance of themselves here. They're trying to move the ball quickly. They're trying to keep Bayern guessing. They're choosing when to play the high press, which they are doing right now. They've got Udekai and Maximilian Bauer on the halfway line, but Udekai's header squirms to a Bayern player. Now Leroy Sané's been released down the right-hand side. He's only got Gnabry and Coman in the middle to aim for. Kane a little late arriving, but here he comes. Now a chance for Mazraoui to cross. He clips it in, but it's well long from the Rocken. And a bit of an apologetic hand raised there by Noussair Mazraoui. He knew there was an opportunity to produce a much better delivery there, with 3 to aim for in the Augsburg box. Reminder, just one change to the Bayern starting lineup today is Jamal Musiala missing out through injury. Picked up a hamstring strain during the week that is expected to keep him out for a couple of weeks. He's replaced by Serge Gnabry in the starting lineup. But the last time that Bayern played without Jamal Musiala, it went all right. I think you could say that, considering the fact that they won 7-0 against Bochum. That was just over a year ago, back in August of 2022. He is a big loss for Bayern, no doubt about it, Jamal Musiala, but given the star-studded squad they have at their disposal, Thomas Tuchel was talking about the fact that Müller may play, Gnabry may play, Gravenberch may play, and I guess that really is the question, who will be the big beneficiary for Bayern with Jamal Musiala out injured. For now, a long ball forward, Upamecano, well, he heads it back to Min Jae Kim. That was a risky decision there from Dayot Upamecano, but Bayern get away with it in the end. Kim did well under pressure. They have given it away in midfield now, and Udekai has the ball at the back for Augsburg. Udekai still on the ball after a little 1-2 with Niklas Dorsch. Bayern trying to work out their moments to press. Harry Kane trying to lead by example in that regard. Serge Gnabry is going to put pressure on Finn Darman, but Augsburg not rushing their build-up play, patiently trying to find their own way forward against this Bayern side. A little burst of pace from Mads Pedersen on the left, sees him cut in field, and he's now found Arne Engels in a lot of space, and there is room to move here for Augsburg, but Davies does well to cut out the intended pass, looking for Ruben Vargas. Throw into Augsburg on this near side. Vargas wanted to take it quickly. He wasn't quite on the same wavelength there as Arne Engels. You can hear the south stand to my right making themselves heard as Sven Michel wins the header from the throw-in. It's flicked on by Rekspejai, but there are no takers for Augsburg at the back post as the chance comes to nothing. Sven Ulreich happy to take a few seconds off the clock here as he lets everyone shuffle back into position. Right now, Bayern have now gone long with the ball towards Harry Kane. A little wrestling match there with Maximilian Bauer, and a few of the Bayern fans not happy with the challenge on Harry Kane there. And I think it's fair to say, Bauer, with very little intention to try and play the ball, his only intention was to hold on to Harry Kane at all costs. And unfortunately, that is not within the laws of the game, admittedly. But Daniel Siebert, the referee, keeping his whistle in his pocket for the time being. Big question being whether Harry Kane can be the missing piece for Bayern, the one that they couldn't quite find last season after Robert Lewandowski left in the summer. It was interesting, Robert Lewandowski was at an award ceremony here in Germany this week and was asked about Harry Kane and about whether he felt that Harry Kane could maybe break his all-time single-season goal-scoring record of 41 goals. And he said, well, it's ridiculous to put that much pressure on Harry Kane so early. The Bundesliga's not an easy league. And he said it would be better to leave him in peace, let him score his goals and not talk about records. Harry Kane scoring on his Bundesliga debut in that 4-0 win against Werder Bremen. But that was the interesting thing. Bayern and Augsburg both scored 4 goals on the opening weekend. The difference was that Augsburg also conceded 4, whereas Bayern kept a clean sheet. Long ball forward, looking for the run of Ruben Vargas. Good foot race between him and Davies, but again, Davies has won out on this occasion, getting his positioning right there against the Swiss international. Min-Jae Kim with a good bit of interplay. Then Kimmich and Goretzka work it well. It gets applause from the home fans. Now Kimmich bringing the ball forward. He finds Leroy Sané out wide on the right. Sané cutting in on that left foot of his, back to Kimmich, now to Goretzka. Mazraoui in an offside position, so he's not an option, but now back onside. Augsburg, though, winning the ball well through Mads Pedersen. Upamecano intercepts the outlet passes, though. Goretzka trying to keep the pressure on. He's going to dink the cross in. Again, the cross goes long over the heads of all the red and white shirts. When you have a player like Harry Kane in your ranks, you've got to really be looking to produce high-quality deliveries into the box that he can work with, he can attack, and right now Bayern not quite producing those. They're still retaining possession here, though, the reigning and record German title holders. Davies on the ball on this near side to Coman. Vargas across to close him down. Coman's cute pass doesn't find its intended target, and Gnabry, in trying to win the ball back, has conceded a foul, clipping the heels of Niklas Dorsch. Niklas Dorsch, a former Bayern youth player, only ever made one appearance for the senior side during his 6 years with the club. He is credited with winning a Bundesliga title during that time. It was good to see him back as well after he had such a tough time with injuries last season, a broken metatarsal and a broken nose as well. Long ball across field to Ruben Vargas, put back into the Bayern box, but the loose ball falls to Leon Goretzka. He finds Gnabry. Engel's got a foot in, but Bayern come away with it, and now Coman has space to run into, but the pass from Kimmich just a touch long. Coman tried to keep it in play with his head, but was always stretching, and as a result it skips off his head behind and out for a throw-in on this near side. It's a throw-in to the visitors, who you've got to think will be pleased with their output in the opening 26 minutes and change, making life difficult for Bayern. And it was Enrico Maaßen, the head coach, that said, when you play in Munich, everyone expects Bayern to run away with it, but we can cause an upset. And right now, they are proving that they can make life difficult for Bayern. Interestingly, we've had 6 shots on goal so far this afternoon. Not a single one has been on target. Now a chance, though, for Demirovic, and he drags it wide for Augsburg. Well, best chance of the game so far for either side, without question. But Demirovic is profligate. It was well worked, and he actually shrugged off the challenge of Noussair Mazraoui. A bit of a physical mismatch there between Demirovic and the Moroccan. Demirovic got the better of it, but given the fact that he then had time and space really to pick out his shots, he dragged it well wide of Sven Ulreich's goal, and as a result Bayern survived the scare, and Augsburg, with their 5th shot on goal to the 2 of Bayern, go closest to breaking the deadlock so far. Good ball feeding the channels for Kingsley Coman, inside left channel. Now feeding the run of Serge Gnabry. Cut back, Harry Kane was there, but it was behind him. It's out to Leon Goretzka now. He strikes, and a big save by Finn Dahmen, the first save of the game for Mai, the keeper, just before the half-hour mark. Leon Goretzka sized up the opportunity. He was looking for the top corner. It was a little central. Finn Dahmen, though, saw it late, got his palms to the ball and pushes it onto the roof of the net in the end. But two good chances in quick succession. One for Demirovic, one for Leon Goretzka. And finally, in the 28th minute, we have the first save of the game from Finn Dahmen. Now it's the fifth corner of the game for Bayern. In-swinger left-footed from Leroy Sané, far side again. So much pace, but he puts it right out of play. And I got to say, the corners today are leaving a little bit to be desired. Some room for improvement for Bayern, I think it is fair to say. And right now, you've got to think that the opening goal is going to be very key in dictating which way this game is going to go. Thomas Tuchel prowling in his technical area. I think it's fair to say from his reactions and gestures, not overly pleased with what he's seen from his side so far. Of course, they opened the scoring quite early through Leroy Sané against Werder Bremen. That really played into Bayern's hands. It allowed them to settle into a very controlling style of play. 3 goals then scored after the 74th minute. Harry Kane and Thomas Tuchel both crediting the substitutes that came on with injecting some fresh impetus into the game and ultimately killing it off in Bayern's favour. Harry Kane involved in 2 of Bayern's 4 goals, an assist for Leroy Sané when he made it 1-0, and then it was Harry Kane himself that doubled Bayern's advantage. Bit of head tennis in midfield here at the Allianz Arena. Long ball forward now for Augsburg. Min-Jae Kim in a foot race with Sven Michel, but Kim does well and now alleviates the pressure by finding Sven Ulreich. He goes with a no-nonsense long ball clearance. Kane looked to attack, but Dorsch gets there first. That is, of course, a new outlet for Bayern if they want to use it. The long ball to Kane. It hasn't worked out in their favour so far today. Right now, the flag is up on this near side. I can only assume for offside against Augsburg, as an attack had been brewing for the visitors. Bayern looked to take the free kick quickly, but the action pulled back by referee Daniel Siebert. Just seeing the replays of the incident there, and it was indeed Merkin Berisha who was coming back from an offside position. Kingsley Coman inside the Augsburg half, forced to go backwards to find options with Kimmich. Kimmich, a delicate pass out to Leroy Sané. He's had the ball taken off him by Mads Pedersen, and the counter-attack is on here for Augsburg. Pedersen, he's got Berisha and Michel in support. Cut back to Michel. Well, oh dear me. Michel had so much time and space and actually went for a first-time left-footed volley from about 25 yards out, when a touch definitely would have served him better. In the end, he kicks it thin air. It goes through his legs, and a few riled chuckles from the Bayern fans here at the Allianz Arena for the fact that that panned out so terribly for Augsburg when it looked so promising for the visitors. Right now, Bayern once again in possession with every man inside the Augsburg half. Kingsley Coman bearing down on the penalty area, about 25 yards out from goal. Inside left channel, now to the inside right channel with Goretzka. Out wide on the wing now with Mazraoui. Back to Goretzka. They're having to be incredibly patient here, Bayern. Gnabry, little reverse pass to Leroy Sané. He's in behind Leroy Sané. Oh, it's in! Oh, it's in! It's not in! It's in! It's goal for Bayern! It's 1-0. We had to wait, but the buzzer has gone on the referee's watch. The ball did cross the line. The final touch might have come courtesy of Leroy Sané, or maybe an Augsburg player. But Bayern won't mind. The deadlock is broken, and the scarves are waving inside the Allianz Arena. I think it will go down as an Augsburg own goal. Lovely pass from Gnabry to let Sane break in behind, and Darman's save comes off the knee of Udukai. It then comes off the post. Udukai desperately tries to claw the ball off the line, and I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, there is not much in this, but it is a goal to Bayern. It is a hair's width. Udukai so close to producing the goal line clearance, but not enough in the end, and it will go down as a Felix Udukai own goal. Right now the chance inside the Allianz Arena for Leroy Sané, but I think upon official review it will go down as a Felix Udukai own goal. Bayern though are 1-0 up against Augsburg. The breakthrough made, and now some defending to do as Upamecano wins the ball well inside his own box, now looking to spark Bayern in transition again. Kane, the pivot point, but the ball won there by Maximilian Bauer in the 50-50 challenge. Kane is trying to win it back now, but a foul given against Alphonso Davies on this near side. So it is a free kick to Augsburg just inside the Bayern half. Taken quickly actually, but it didn't catch Bayern or Joshua Kimmich off guard. Augsburg though will get possession back here from the Bayern clearance. Arne Engels is in space on this near side, but instead it's going to be pushed to the left wing for Augsburg with Mads Pedersen, a man who has scored against Bayern in his Bundesliga career. He's only scored 2 goals, one of those coming against the record side to holders. Certainly not a bad thing to be able to tell the grandkids about later in life. And interesting as well, the opening goal. How will that affect the game now? Augsburg were being ambitious and disciplined in equal measure. They were picking their moments to cause Bayern a few problems. And the problem is, when you go a goal down to Bayern, it can often take the wind out of a side's sails. It was former head coach Julian Nagelsmann that used to talk about the Dosen-Öffner, the can opener for Bayern. And we did have to wait a while for the breakthrough today. But can they push on from here? The home side against Bremen. They had to wait until the 74th minute to extend their lead through Harry Kane. Something tells me they'll want to get the second goal here a little bit earlier if they can. And I'm sure Harry Kane would love to be involved, it has to be said. Right now, Augsburg have the ball down by the byline with Demirovic. He plays it back to Pedersen. Pedersen looking to find a chance to cross. Instead, it's a cut back to Demirovic. Rex Bajai wants it on the edge of the area. Demirovic went to cross instead, and Davies with a firm header clear. Bayern actually had been forced back deep inside their own half there on that occasion to do the defending. Udukai playing it back to Finn Darman. Now out wide on this near side to Arne Engels. Back with Maximilian Bauer. A fun fact for you as well about that goal for Bayern is that they have now scored in 116 of their last 117 Bundesliga matches. The last team to prevent them from scoring were, of course, Augsburg back in last season, matchday 7, that 1-0 win thanks to the winner from Mergen Berisha in the 71st minute. Right now, Augsburg have given the ball away cheaply though. Leroy Sané finding Kingsley Coman edge of the area. Back to Leroy Sané, now to Kimmich, who wants to shoot. It is Kimmich in the end, it's deflected, it's behind for a corner, but Kimmich wants a penalty for handball. He is remonstrating with the referee Daniel Sieben, making a very strong appeal here. We're going to take a look at the replay here. Sané didn't think he wanted to have a go at Golstead, went for the back heel to Kimmich, and I tell you what, that does come off the arm of Niklas Dorsch. It is in an unnatural position. It's well below the t-shirt sleeve line, and it's an arm that's well raised above the shoulder as well. Kimmich asking the question, Siebert giving him an answer. I'd love to know what's being discussed there between the two and what Siebert is saying to him. Right now we are waiting for the corner to be taken. It is still going to be Leroy Sané to take, even though he sent the last one straight out for a goal kick. Just wondering whether the video assistant referee is still going through the check, and I think that's what Siebert's telling Kimmich, is that they are checking it. Søren Storks is the man who will be looking at the replay, and I tell you what, I just think once they have a look at the replay, you can't not give this penalty. And Daniel Siebert, the referee, has just signalled he's going to take a look at the sideline monitor. He's going to look at the replays himself, and that normally means one thing, ladies and gentlemen, that the decision will be given, and that will mean it will be a penalty to Bayern in the 39th minute of the game. Well, actually, I tell you what, now there's an interesting replay on the screen, because it looks like Niklas Dorsch's feet may be outside the area, but the fact is he's leaning backwards, which means his body and his arm is in the area, and the referee, Daniel Siebert, is going to give a penalty for handball. Niklas Dorsch, the former Bayern youth player, penalised against his former club. And you know what that means, ladies and gentlemen? It is a chance for Harry Kane to grab the ball and put it on the spot. And I can tell you what, everyone around me in the Allianz Arena is rising to their feet. The phones are out there ready to capture this moment. Harry Kane, a chance to make it 2 goals in as many Bundesliga matches. In what is his first home game in the starting lineup for Bayern München, his new club. Harry Kane with a chance to become the first Bayern player since Joshua Zirkzee to score in his opening 2 league games. There is a big sense of anticipation in the Allianz Arena. Harry Kane against Finn Dahmen to make it 2-0, and Harry Kane makes no mistake from the spot. Welcome to Munich, Harry Kane. Goals in back-to-back games to start the Bundesliga season. And it is just a sign of things to come from the England captain. He's come here to deliver the goals, deliver the titles, and ultimately shoulder the responsibility in moments like that. And from the spot, he makes absolutely no mistake. Cool, calm, and collected from the spot. 2 goals in 2 games now for Harry Kane. I just wanted to be quiet to let you at home savour that moment and soak in the reception here from the home crowd for their new number 9 up front, Harry Kane. That will not be the last time, I'm sure, that they're chanting his name. Right now, though, Augsburg looking to reduce the arrears, and they've given it away cheaply on the edge of the Bayern area. Megan Berisha losing out against Coman, so the chance ultimately coming to nothing for the away side. Kimmich now combining with Goretzka in midfield. Min-Jae Kim finding Gnabry. Given away. And, well, Megan Berisha saw Sven Ulreich off his line. Went for goal. It will count as a shot, but Ulreich saw it the whole way and knew it wasn't going to pose any threat to his clean sheets. He's looking to make it back-to-back clean sheets to start the season. But this first half, at the beginning, was a bit turgid for Bayern. But 2 moments of good fortune for the reigning title holders. Has seen them fashion a 2-goal lead here. The own goal from Felix Udekai, as he was unable to produce the goal line clearance after ricocheting a save off his own post and across his own goal line. And then the handball against Niklas Dorsch in Bayern's favour. And the penalty converted by Harry Kane. Right now, Augsburg with a free kick in a very central position. About 35 yards out from goal. Bayern playing a high line just outside their penalty area. Arne Engels, Rex Bajai and Niklas Dorsch standing over the ball in green. Bayern really keeping that line tight. And as a result, the pass from Dorsch doesn't come off. The offside flag was up, but the advantage played here because there's a chance for Bayern to break on the counter. Gnabry finds Goretzka. Now across the halfway line with Kingsley Coman. They've slowed their roll just a little here, though, Bayern. I think they realised that the counter wasn't quite as free-flowing as they wanted it to be in that moment. And as a result, they've played it more patiently to the right wing with Leroy Sané. He's one-on-one with Erdem Demirovic, the Augsburg captain, cutting inside on that left foot. Still going Leroy Sané. Out wide now to Davies, just inside the Augsburg box, left-hand side. Cut back to Coman, is cut out by Vargas. Kimmich first to the loose ball now for Bayern, finding Upamecano. Upamecano into feet for Leroy Sané in that inside right channel. Back to Upamecano. Every Bayern player once again inside the Augsburg half. Kingsley Coman cutting in off the left wing into a more central position to overload the numbers there. And the overload is working because Bayern working it well here. Mazraoui with the cross cut out for a throw-in. But when Coman or Leroy Sané drift in off the wing, what it's really doing is definitely giving Bayern that numbers advantage in central positions, and they're combining to decent effect. Reverse pass from Kimmich, looking for the run of Davies, and Vargas scrambles it behind for a corner. He had to get there, the Swiss international. One of the goal scorers for Augsburg in that 4-4 draw against Borussia Mönchengladbach last weekend. In fact, it was Vargas after half-time that made it 4-3 to Augsburg. They'd come from 1-0 down, they'd come from 3-1 down to make it 3-3 at half-time. Vargas then gave them the only lead they had of the game. Unfortunately, they weren't able to hold on to it. A 97th minute penalty ultimately cost them. For now, Kimmich with the corner. It's deep towards the back post again. No takers in a Bayern shirt. Finn Darman had gone down in the Augsburg box along with a couple of other players. But I tell you what, between Kimmich and Leroy Sané, the corners not quite of the quality we expect to see from Bayern. And when you have the likes of Upamecano, Min Jae Kim, Harry Kane, you just want to be giving them something to work with. But I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say we've had 6 corners for Bayern and not a single one of them has actually found a Bayern head. The closest they came was when Finn Darman came and punched one of the corners clear. Right now, Augsburg trying to break the Bayern lines, but unable to do so because Borussia's first touch lets him down, and Upamecano finding Mazraoui. Mazraoui under pressure as well to wriggle away from a challenge. Now it's back with Sven Ulreich. I can tell you all the scarves are being held aloft in the Zuid Curve behind Ulreich's goal. Augsburg still in possession inside the Bayern half, though. Rex Bajai clips the cross in. Borussia with a header, and it's onto the roof of the net. Sven Ulreich untroubled in the end. He saw it the whole way. It's going to take something a little more special than that to really test Sven Ulreich, but Megan Borussia has proven that he has the golden touch against Bayern. I can tell you that with Sven Ulreich in goal, Manuel Neuer is in attendance, so too is Daniel Peretz, the new goalkeeper for now. All Bayern were on the counter, but a clash off the ball between Leroy Sané and I believe it's Mads Pedersen, ultimately thwarting Bayern when they were likely to score the third goal there, because Harry Kane had been played in magnificently. But there was a clash off the ball. Sané and Mads Pedersen were just crossing runs, and Sané ended up taking Mads Pedersen down, so you can understand why Daniel Siebert did blow his whistle there. Gnabry trying to get on the end of the loose ball after Kimmich had won it well in midfield, but he's penalised for the foul on Niklas Dorsch. Bit of a lack of rhythm in this game in the last couple of minutes, it has to be said, here at the Allianz Arena. A couple of fouls as well. Augsburg doing well to break that rhythm, it has to be said. Time almost up in this first half. Long ball forward, looking for the run of Berisha, but Min-jae with a good header. He's put under a bit of pressure by a errant pass from Alphonso Davies, but the South Korean international covers themselves in glory there as he deals with the pressure. And Bayern, as you hear the half-time whistle go here at the Allianz Arena, with a comfortable 2-0 lead here against Augsburg. Augsburgs have had more shots on goal, but they're still yet to force Sven Ulreich into a save. Meanwhile, Bayern, with just 3 shots on target, 2 goals. Very efficient play from the German record title holders. The opening goal, courtesy of an own goal from Felix Udukai, after some fortuitous deflections from a Bayern perspective. But Bayern pushed on from there, and they extended the lead when Niklas Dorsch was penalised for handball. Harry Kane stepped up to convert the spot kick, making it 2 goals in as many Bundesliga matches for Bayern's new number 9. And at 2-0 at half-time, plenty more room for Bayern to add to that scoreline. Remember, they need to win by a 3-goal margin to go top of the table. 1 more goal needed for that to happen. Join us again shortly for the coverage of the second half, which promises to pack a few more goals in as well. Hello and welcome back, one and all, to the Allianz Arena. Today playing host to the Matchday 2 curtain closer in the Bundesliga. Another thrilling weekend of action in Germany's top flight. But right now, Bayern have their sights set on going back top of the table at the end of play. Ultimately, that's where they want to be until Matchday 34, as they go in search of their 12th straight Bundesliga title. Today, though, they're looking to not only make it 2 wins out of 2 to start the campaign, they're looking to become the first ever Bundesliga side to break the 4,000 point mark all time. And right now they are on course to do both of those things. To go top of the table, though, they need at least 1 more goal unanswered, because they have to win by a 3. They have to ultimately have a 3-goal difference in order to go top of the table and take the summit away from Union Berlin. We are ready for the start of the second half. Augsburg were out quickly from the changing rooms. They've got the ball for kickoff. Bayern a little bit slower to take to the pitch again, but then there's no rush. 2-0 up. Something tells me Enrico Maaßen might have put a bit of fire in the bellies of his players. And they get the second half underway. Augsburg going from right to left in their all-green kit. Bayern in their red and white going from left to right for the second half towards the Südkurve, the south stand. Now behind the goal of Finn Dahmen, the Augsburg goalkeeper. And you've got to say, Bayern 2-0 up, sitting pretty. Wasn't the most spellbinding first half performance you've ever seen from the German record title holders, but that's now 3 goals in the first half across 2 games in the Bundesliga so far. Remember, last season they set a new record in Germany's top flight with 57 goals scored before the half-time break. For now, they're looking for an early third. Coman finds Harry Kane. Kane to Mazraoui. Mazraoui to Sané, but he just put a little too much on the pass. Needed a little bit more finesse in the final moment there as he looked to wait the final pass to Leroy Sané. But that a sign of intent from Bayern at the start of this second half, that they're not going to rest on their laurels at 2-0 up. Instead, they're going to look to extend their lead. Got to say, Augsburg gave a good account of themselves in many respects in the first half, disciplined and dogged as we expect them to be. Where they let themselves down was in front of goal. 8 shots on goal, but not a single one found the target of Sven Ulreich's goal, and therefore Ulreich not forced into making a single save. And an interesting fun fact is that Bayern have never conceded in the first half in the Bundesliga under Thomas Tuchel in this, what is his 11th game in charge. Right now, Mads Pedersen finding Demirovic. Demirovic losing out, though, in a nice little 1-2 with Upamecano and Leroy Sané. They tried to release the run of Serge Gnabry, but Dorsch was across to cover for the away side. Gnabry with the quick throw to Kimmich. Kimmich under pressure from Berisha. Coman then closed down by Michel, and whoa, he got the free kick there, Kingsley Coman. Michel felt he'd won the ball, or at least taken enough of the ball to not warrant the referee blowing his whistle, but Daniel Siebert, the man in the middle, did not agree with Sven Michel, signed in the summer by Augsburg from Union Berlin, and he scored on his debut for the club in the Bundesliga, that half-time penalty, right on the stroke of half-time, I should say, that made it 3-3 in that 8-goal thriller against Borussia Mönchengladbach on match day 1. And in that game, Augsburg did come from 2 goals down to take a share of the spoils. They're going to have to do the same today if they want to upset the odds. Of course, it's a much bigger ask here at the Allianz Arena than it is on home soil at the VVK Arena. Nevertheless, it's Bayern looking lively at the start of the second half. Kane round the corner from Kingsley Coman, and he just sent it wide from a tight angle. Great effort from the England captain, but admittedly, he didn't have a lot of real estate to work with when it came to the size of the target. Lovely play, though, from Kingsley Coman. He just burst past the challenge of 2. Reverse pass. Kane took a touch, and that actually sent him a little further wide on his left foot. He tried to power it back across goal, but in the end, I think the presence of Felix Udekai maybe did just enough to throw him off balance at the vital moment, and as a result, his shot does not find the target. But this is more like it from Bayern. We didn't see them inject as much pace into the proceedings in the first half. Of course, I think it's fair to say Augsburg didn't let them either. But already there's a bit more zip to this performance from the German record title holders. Now they're on the ball again with Joshua Kimmich. When they're in possession, he happily drops between the 2 centre-backs to play the quarterback role. He's given it to Upamecano, and now Upamecano's gone on a bursting run forward, finding Mazraoui down the right-hand side, who has earned his side a throw. Deep in Augsburg territory down this near side. Is there Mazraoui finding Leon Goretzka with the throw-in. Nice combination play between Goretzka and Sané. Now Kimmich looking for the cute pass over the top. In fact, it turns into more of a shot than a pass from Joshua Kimmich straight into the gloves of Finn Dahmen. Easy for the Augsburg keeper to deal with that threat on this occasion. Still yet to keep a clean sheet in the Bundesliga, Finn Dahmen. This is his 15th appearance. The 25-year-olds are still relatively unproven despite being 25 years old. Was always seen as a promising keeper, but he's come to Augsburg looking for first-team football, and he's getting it after the departure of Rafael Gikiewicz in the summer. Dahmen right now finding Maximilian Bauer, one of his 2 centre-backs in front of him. Niklas Dorsch calling just for a bit of calm in the Augsburg ranks. They don't want to get ahead of themselves here and rush things, because they do know that, let's be honest, if they get a goal back, they could give Bayern a headache or 2. Bayern, though, I think it's fair to say we're looking at them trying to complete a very professional performance here today. Upamecano under pressure, his clearance cut out by Mads Pedersen. Demirovic puts it into the mix. Vargas edge of the area, tries to bring it down on his knee. Michel first, a loose ball into feet for Berisha on the turn. Berisha just had it taken off his toes by Goretzka at the final moment. What a piece of defending that was from Leon Goretzka. Had to get the challenge right, had to get the timing right, and he ticked all the boxes to prevent Berisha getting a shot off from a very, very dangerous area. But he was alert to the danger the whole time there, Leon Goretzka. Lots of questions being asked about the midfield battle, and Konrad Laimer brought in the summer, but Goretzka right now has started both Bundesliga matches. For now, Bayern coming forward with Sané. Sané left foot, he shaped the shot. but sends it wide, and he's frustrated with himself for not testing Finn Dahmen there. But they were backing off him the whole time there, the Augsburg backline, and when they did that, they just invited him to try and carve out the opportunity. He did fashion a bit of space, but he was looking for the knuckleball technique, and as a result, the line of the shot was always going wide. Pass round the back for Ruben Vargas, cut out by Davies. Handball then goes against Arne Engels, the 19-year-old Belgian right back for Augsburg. Names Kevin De Bruyne as his idol, the current Manchester City midfielder, former Wolfsburg and Werder Bremen player. Long ball forward for Bayern. Demirovic gets his head to it, but Mazraoui wins the loose ball. Little 1-2 between Mazraoui and Kane, and now Kane making his way into the middle, trying to get on the end of any cross that's coming, but instead it's Kingsley Coman cutting inside on that right foot of his, darting into the penalty area. Kane still keeping the chance alive here for Bayern. A bit of ping-pong in the Augsburg box. No one able really to bring the ball down under their spell, but Leroy Sané now has the ball out wide on the right with Serge Gnabry. They're doubling up. Goretzka making a run in behind, but Sané doesn't produce the pass. Instead it's now with Kimmich about 35 yards out from goal. Central area now on the left wing with Alphonso Davies. Infield to Kingsley Coman. Out wide now to Harry Kane, who's drifted there to try and affect play. He sends a cross into the box, but it's low and easily dealt with by Maximilian Bauer. And right now Bayern trying to keep the high press and maybe force an early mistake out of this Augsburg side after giving away possession, but Finn Dahmen's long ball cut out by Goretzka, so the mistake is forthcoming for Bayern. Now Leroy Sané rides the challenge of Niklas Dorsch, finding Kimmich, first time pass to Mazraoui. Kimmich getting a lot of touches, but I have to say so many of them have to be first time passes where he moves it on quickly, because Augsburg are clearly targeting him in the build-up play. When he's ready to receive the ball, they're closing him down. Now Goretzka finding Leroy Sané. It was the right idea, the wrong execution, but Goretzka, lovely challenge, 20 yards out from goal. He gets it back from Gnabry. He's going to strike now and slices across the goal and sends it wide. Not the first time Goretzka's had a sight of goal today, and not the first time he hasn't found the target. But there's a lot to like about his midfield performance, not least the battling qualities that have seen him win the ball in very promising positions high up the pitch on more than one occasion so far today. He's got to keep working hard to keep Konrad Laimer out of the starting lineup. I've got to say, as the clapping, or the slow clapping, is starting in the Südkurve for Bayern, it's worth noting that Augsburg really need a Herculean effort here today if they want to somehow take a share of the spoils here in Munich, because only once in their Bundesliga history have they managed to come from 2 goals down at half-time to take a share of the spoils. That was in a 2-2 draw against Darmstadt in March of 2016. Darmstadt back then were a newly promoted side. So again, the uphill struggle was not quite as steep as it is here in Munich. Right now Mazraoui finding Sané. Lovely turn in midfield from Leroy Sané, and then he gets caught, takes the free kick quickly. Rex Bajai has shown the yellow card in the mix as well. And the free kick unable to be taken quickly, so they have to just retreat momentarily there, Bayern. Fortunately, what it does mean is that it's allowed Augsburg to get back into position and refine their shape. Still waiting for the first shot on goal for Augsburg in this second half. Min Jae Kim, pass straight to Ruben Vargas, wins it back though, does the South Korean, and now Gnabry, lovely turn in midfield to go past Rex Bajai. And it is a 6-on-5 break in Bayern's favour. Sané went for the cheeky flick that would have found the late run of Leon Goretzka, but he didn't quite make the desired connection with the pass, and now Dorsch caught by Sané, and it will be a free kick to Augsburg just inside their own half. Niklas Dorsch, the man who gave away a penalty in the first half for handball, blocking a shot from Joshua Kimmich. Second time in as many games that Augsburg have conceded a penalty. Of course, it was one in the 97th minute against Gladbach in that 4-4 draw. Tomasz Chavankara, ultimately converting from the spot. As now Ulreich tested, had to come off his line after a loose back pass from Upamecano, and then Vargas put it straight back towards goal. Ulreich recovering the position, making the save, and that is the first shot on target of the game for Augsburg. Bayern almost makers of their own downfall on that occasion, but Sven Ulreich, as we're so accustomed to seeing, coming to his side's rescue. Min-jae Kim now under pressure from Sven Michel. Tuchel talked about wanting to play faster, wanting Bayern's fluidity to be greater, especially in attack. In the first half, I think they struggled to really add that fluidity and that pace into the game with Augsburg sitting so deep, but this second half is a little bit more open. Augsburg coming out of their shell a little bit at the same time. Bayern starting to work the channels that little bit better. Serge Gnabry, Kingsley Coman, Leroy Sané, they are flitting here, there and everywhere over the pitch, and right now Gnabry feeding the run of Alphonso Davies, who's in behind Ruben Vargas. Davies using all his pace to get in behind, and the cutback looking for Harry Kane. Cut out by Niklas Dorsch. Important defensive play there from the Augsburg midfielder, but Kimmich now early cross, looking for Kane. Pedersen with his head to the ball. Again, good idea there from Bayern, good idea from Kimmich. But the cross, a letdown. And now Berisha battling away against Upamecano, but it's the Frenchman that comes away with the ball. You just saw a shot of Thomas Tuchel on the sidelines. I can tell you he is a pensive man down there. He's barely moved for the last 5 minutes as he's observing and analysing all the action. He does have a history with Augsburg as well. It's a special game for him because he's actually born just 50 kilometres away from Augsburg in Krumbach. He was a youth player with the club at the end of the 1980s, early 1990s. He was known as Tommy the Libero. And he was captain of the under-19 that won the DFB Pokal Youth Cup in 1991 and 92. Today facing his former side for the first time since 2017 when he was in charge of Borussia Dortmund. But so far, his side 2-0 up, and unless they play themselves into pressure, ultimately looking comfortable here today against their Bavarian counterparts, FC Augsburg. This fixture ended in a 5-3 win for Bayern last season. You might remember it because it was a goal filled with efforts from defenders. Gnabry, well, he thought about the shot. One little fake, then he took the shot left-footed instead, blocked, and now Kim gives away a free kick against Michel. But just to remind you of that 5-3 win, Joao Cancelo, Benjamin Pavard, back to brace, Leroy Sané and Alphonso Davies were the goal scorers for Bayern. It was Berisha who backed to brace for Augsburg. He opened the scoring to make it 1-0. Irvin Cardona also pulled a late goal back to make it 5-3, but wasn't enough to really put the cat in amongst the pigeons as we hear the announcement that it is sold out today at the Allianz Arena. 75,000 fans in attendance for the first Bundesliga home game of the season. And Bayern starting the campaign as they mean to go on here. And you've got to think that for Augsburg, unless they can get a goal back in the next 10 minutes, it's really going to be a struggle for them. Right now, Bayern coming forward again down the left with Alphonso Davies. Three in the middle to aim for. The ball is over Kane. It's looking for Sané. He was unmarked. Pedersen just backpedaled enough to get his head on the ball and prevent Sané striking on the volley. Bayern still working it through the gears here as Goretzka crosses. Again met by the head of Felix Udekai. Upamecano first, the loose ball. He finds Mazraoui onto Kimmich now with Coman. Coman one-on-one with Rex Bajai, trying to cut in on that right foot, trying to get past the midfielder. Goretzka strikes on the follow-up. It's going to spin wide and behind for a corner. Finn Damm was rushing to try and prevent it going behind, but couldn't get there in time, and as a result, it will be another corner for Bayern. It will be their 7th of the game. One of these surely has got to find the head of a Bayern player. Maybe it'll be this one. Upamecano, Min-jae Kim are up from the back once again. It will be Kimmich to take. In swinging with that right foot of his. And again, it's met by Ermedin Demirovic this time. As Augsburg able to clear their lines. Ulreich well off his line to get to the loose ball. And while he tried to play a pass to Davies, Davies now under pressure from Michel as well. But he's got a little bit more pace to his game than Sven Michel does, the Canadian, and he easily goes past him and now commands him behind the Augsburg back line. He's only got Harry Kane in the middle to aim for. Coman, oh, right across the face of goal, and it's behind Kane and behind Leroy Sané. Brilliant moment of play from Bayern, just missing the end product. He did so much right there, Kingsley Coman. Finn Darman did get a hand to the ball, but that's the first time we've really seen them break in behind the Augsburg backline and then pose problems as Sané little 1-2 with Mazraoui. Mazraoui's shot blocked by Pedersen, who is feeling the after effects of the block, but he's got some more defending to do because Mazraoui again on the ball, inside right channel edge of the area. Now with Goretzka a little further behind, a few more yards back now with Min-Jae Kim. He plays it out wide after a swap of sides to Alphonso Davies, one-on-one with Vargas. Arne Engels across to offer some more support now. Cross in. Oh, Gnabry with the header, and what a save that is from Finn Darman. I tell you what, Harry Kane was unmarked at the back post had Gnabry not got there. But Gnabry rose highest against two Augsburg defenders, and a fine reflex save from Darman to keep that header out. Gnabry was on fire in front of goal at the end of last season, looking to open his account here today after missing out through injury against Bremen. Darman with a big save in the 64th minute. It is going to be another corner to Bayern. In-swinger, left-footed from Sané. Much better corner into the mix. Oh, how has that not gone in? Upamecano from the edge of the 6-yard box. The ball just dropped to his feet in the melee, and he just went to place it into the far corner, and somehow it stayed out. I think the last touch ultimately is off an Augsburg player, and so it is another corner to Bayern. On the far side now, I think this is their 10th of the game now for the reigning and record title holders. It's going to be Kimmich in swinging, right-footed. Bayern packing out the 6-yard box and making life miserable for Finn Darman, the Augsburg goalkeeper. He's very crowded. Min-Jae Kim is in there. He's giving a bit of a push in the back of the South Korean. Gnabry's in there too. Kimmich fizzes in. Min-Jae Kim's up there, but again it's over the head of everyone. And this time there are no takers, and the ball doesn't fall kindly at the feet of a Bayern player. Instead it goes all the way through and out for a goal kick on this near side. And what we are now seeing is that there's going to be 4 changes made by Augsburg, and head coach Enrico Maaßen can tell you that Erwin Cardona, the man who scored Augsburg's 3rd in the 5-3 defeat here last season, is coming on. So too is Tim Breithaupt, a summer signing from Karlsruhe. Dion Bellio. And the final player is Philip Tietz as well. So 2 summer signings in Tim Breithaupt and Philip Tietz. Dion Bellio, we'll remember from last season, he grabbed 3 goals in 18 games for Augsburg after joining in January. And meanwhile, Erwin Cardona, the man who did get a goal against Bayern, and that's not something that every player can claim either in their footballing career. Just waiting for confirmation of the players that have all left the pitch before I rattle off the list. But it's fair to say Enrico Maaßen ringing in the changes, hoping that he can maybe add some fresh impetus into this game with some fresh legs. Bayern with the ball in midfield with Serge Gnabry. He lays it off for Leon Goretzka. Goretzka on to Kimmich now. And Bayern really looking to put this game beyond reach with a 3rd goal. They've had 8 shots to the 1 of Augsburg in this second half. And right now, looking like the only side capable of scoring. Goretzka wins a big header in midfield. It almost broke kindly to Serge Gnabry. First touch let him down naturally. Gnabry was in an offside position, so it wouldn't have counted. Südkurve once again making themselves heard here at the Allianz Arena. You really have been in fine fettle all evening. As we close the curtain on Bundesliga match day 2 with what you could geographically call a Bavarian derby that I don't think many Bayern or Augsburg fans would classify it that way. Right now, this is a good play from Augsburg. Matt Pedersen in the pocket of space. Philip Tietz was in front of him, but can't pick up the pieces after strong challenge on Pedersen from Mazraoui. Now Mazraoui, oh, lovely footwork from the Moroccan. And he's got Coman, he's got Sané streaming forward ahead of him. Sané in space on this right-hand side, bearing down on goal. Sané curls it, oh, it's off the post! Oh, that was a lovely effort from Leroy Sané. Wonderful shape on it. You could see what he was trying to do. He tried to bend it round his man and then inside the post. He got it round the man, but just not inside the woodwork. Now Sané knocking it down for Serge Gnabry after a wonderful pass from Joshua Kimmich. That was a golf chip of a football pass from Joshua Kimmich in behind. So close to Leroy Sané's 3rd goal of the season. And getting some applause now because Thomas Müller, Mathis Tell and Konrad Laimer are being sent to the bench to strip off. I say strip off, I mean change into their match kits as opposed to the training gear they're wearing right now. Right now the flags are flying in the Südkurve. A wonderful atmosphere here in Bayern's first Bundesliga home game of the season. A chance for Kane is second! It's 3-0 Bayern. It's 2 goals for Harry Kane. And just like that, Bayern are going top of the Bundesliga table once again. A wonderful play as Bayern kill off proceedings here. Harry Kane doubles up on an afternoon's work, and he's deserving of it too. You've got to say it's wonderful build-up play. They've broken down the left time and time again this evening, Bayern. Davies, the danger man, combining with Kingsley Coman. He was in behind the Canadian. And from there, it was a first-time pass for Harry Kane and a first-time finish from the England captain as he bags his first ever Bundesliga brace. Again, they shout the name of the man who has been brought in to provide the goals and to provide the leadership from the front. And Harry Kane continues to lead by example for Bayern. And we are having 3 changes now. Leroy Sané, Serge Gnabry coming off. So too Noussair Mazraoui. And we've got Konrad Laimer, Mathis Tell and Thomas Müller entering the fray. So interestingly here, Konrad Laimer slotting in at right back. Thomas Müller, a like-for-like change for Serge Gnabry, and Mathis Tell will be playing off the right wing right now. Capable of playing out wide just as he is up front, Mathis Tell. There was a lovely message from the Bayern fans before kick-off during the pre-match warm-ups where the message was, "We're behind you, Mathis." The sub-line there was united against racism because Mathis Tell was subjected to racist abuse after the Super Cup defeat for Leipzig. The club came out and condemned it, the Bayern fans condemned it. And they came out in support of their number 39, the young Frenchman, and it's a wonderful sign of support as well, it has to be said. Here he is on the ball, right-hand side, playing it back to Leon Goretzka. Well, I mentioned earlier that Harry Kane it's always worth soaking up a bit of that that match atmosphere when they're shouting out the substitutions. And now The chant is once again calling the Allianz Arena to their feet, and they rise in response. Just under 20 minutes remaining here in Munich. Bayern with a 3-0 lead. 2 goals from Harry Kane from 3 shots on goal for the Englishman. And Bayern on course to make it 2 wins out of 2. On course to go top of the Bundesliga table on goal difference. On course to keep another clean sheet. Still yet to concede in the current campaign. They are the only team in the Bundesliga who can boast that fact. For now, Dion Bello trying to spring a counter-attack, but he's closed down by Matisse Tal. Wonderful defensive work there from the Frenchman. That's what you want to see from a substitute as well. Brought on to inject some pace, but he's got to stay alert to the danger that Augsburg will pose. Kingsley Coman, nice little pass backwards. He was under pressure from Arne Engels again there. So the chant now, if you can hear it, München's wahre Liebe FCB, so Munich's true love FCB. And they are certainly enjoying what they've seen from their side here today, as Harry Kane, little cheeky flick at the back heel there, looking to play the run of Thomas Müller, but Augsburg's backline deal with the danger, and I have to say, at 3-0 up with Harry Kane producing little back heel flicks, it does tell you exactly how much Bayern are enjoying their football. I mentioned the fact that they're going top of the Bundesliga as things stand, but again, a moment of history for Bayern, because they will become the first team ever to break the 4,000-point mark in Germany's top flight. Upamecano trying to drive the ball out from the back, took a heavy touch and then fouls Dion Bello in his attempts to win the ball back. It was interesting as well, Harry Kane's impressive Bundesliga debut. He did something that Bayern's 6 all-time top goal scorers didn't manage to do. The 6 players that sit top of Bayern's goal-scoring charts: Gerd Müller, Robert Lewandowski, Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, Thomas Müller, Roland Wohlfahrt and Dieter Hoeneß. None of them managed to score in their first game for the club. Harry Kane managed to do that. He now has 3 goals in 2 games in the Bundesliga. Becoming the first Bayern player to score in his first 2 games, or 2 league games for the club, since Joshua Zirkzee. And a moment of history does beckon for Harry Kane as well, because only 3 players in Bayern history have ever scored in each of their first 3 league outings. And those 3 players being Mario Mandzukic, Luca Toni and Ruggero Rizzitelli back in 1996. So could Harry Kane join a very elite club, or could he even start a club all of his own? Bayern's next 2 games in the Bundesliga against Borussia Mönchengladbach and Bayer Leverkusen. Right now, Augsburg coming forward, looking to claw a goal back here. Breithaupt into feet. And now it's a shot from Demirovic, but he sends it well wide, curling beyond the target. Well, they've had very few sights of goal in this second half, and that will go down as one of the best of them for Augsburg. But Demirovic not doing enough there to test Sven Ulreich at all between the Bayern sticks. He's only had 1 save to make, Sven Ulreich, today. Harry Kane, lovely hold-up play from Kane, and he draws the foul here. I have to say, he's had some rough treatment from the Augsburg backline, and only now is he getting a decision to go his way from the referee Daniel Siebert. Maximilian Bauer, the guilty party on that occasion. Well, Thomas Tuchel has said that doesn't think that the Harry Kane effect will fizzle out anytime soon. He said he's had a big impact on and off the pitch. and ultimately offers them now multiple different options up front, and we've seen that manifest itself over the first 2 games as well, the way he's impacted the play, the way he's chipped in with goals and assists, he's chipped into with defensive headers as well. He brings a lot to the table, Harry Kane, and I think the Bayern fans are delighted with their summer acquisition. Some have even talked about the fact they feel like had Harry Kane been here last season, it would have been a very, very different campaign. But that was it. Bayern were lacking that out-and-out goal scorer. Thomas Tuchel lamented it in the press. He was talking about how all of Europe's big teams had an out-and-out goal scorer, or if they didn't, they were looking for one, including Bayern. Of course, there's lots of chopping and changing going on at the team headquarters right now for Bayern. There was lots of news coming out of the squad this week. Josip Stanisic joining Bayer Leverkusen on loan, looking for more first-team football. Daniel Peretz, the goalkeeper, was signed, but not in time to feature in the matchday squad today. Manuel Neuer, there's positive news coming out of the Bayern camp that he might be back in September after that broken leg suffered last season. There was the contract extension for backup goalkeeper Ritzi Hülsmann, the 2-metre tall goalkeeper who's becoming a bit of a cult favourite here in Munich. We had Harry Kane, who welcomed his 4th child to the world last weekend, and of course the traditional Paulaner photo shoot. Everyone gets dressed up in lederhosen, holds a Weissbier. It's a good time. Harry Kane missed out on it though, due to the arrival of his 4th child. For now, Davies looking for Harry Kane on the pass, and well, the referee Daniel Siebert there doing well, because he brought it back for an earlier foul on Davies by Cardona. Cardona, big tug of the shoulder on the Canadian. And Alphonso Davies retained possession when his pass to Harry Kane was cut out, though. The referee pulled it back for a free kick. And so we've got Joshua Kimmich, who looks likely to send this one in swinging with his right foot. Müller and Harry Kane are having a good chat on the edge of the area. Upamecano and Kim are up from the back as well as Kimmich floats it in. Müller's underneath it, knocking it down, looking for Harry Kane. But his header down was behind all his Bayern teammates. A bit of a shame there, because it was such a promising moment for Bayern and it could have worked out so nicely. Müller with the right idea. But in the end, the chance didn't quite work out the way Bayern had hoped. Tell you as well, Harry Kane with 3 goals to his name. Not a bad return, but he might be coming off here. We've got 2 changes. Matthijs de Ligt and Ryan Gravenberch coming off the bench for Bayern. Min-Jae Kim and I believe it's Kingsley Coman, indeed it is, who have gone off for Bayern. Good response from the Allianz Arena crowd as Min-Jae Kim comes off the pitch. Ryan Gravenberch given just over, or just under, 10 minutes to work with, as he looks to maybe make a claim for more game time. But I feel like that's a never-ending story with Ryan Gravenberch since he's joined Bayern. Unfortunately, such a tough time of it against a very competitive midfield unit. But it is interesting to notice that Konrad Laimer being used as a backup right back, maybe suggesting that is a plan that Thomas Tuchel will happily deploy on occasion. Right now, Bayern working the ball down the left-hand side. Gravenberch and Davies. And while Davies cut back, fails to find a teammate. Thomas Müller was closest to it, but couldn't get there. And the clearance for Augsburg comes to nothing. Bayern able to quickly recycle possession and win the ball back with Konrad Laimer on this near side. Matthijs Tell wants to get involved. Robert Gumny is stripped off and ready to come on for Augsburg on the sidelines, as they're going to make their 5th and final change of the game as well. All about damage limitation now for Augsburg, but right now Konrad Laimer's gone sprinting down the right. He's got 4 in the middle to aim for, deflected on the cross, and Finn Dahmen had to get a hand on the ball to push it behind for a corner, because that might just have been creeping inside his near post. Laimer's cross deflected by Udekai, who has already scored 1 own goal today. The opener for Bayern before Harry Kane bagged a brace. We are going to have that change now for Augsburg. It's going to be a like-for-like change as well, as Robert Gumny coming off the bench to replace Arne Engels. I've got to say, Engels had a tough time of it against Alphonso Davies today. Davies, who already has 3 assists to his name in the Bundesliga this season. No other Bundesliga player can boast that. So Harry Kane's got 3 goals, Alphonso Davies has 3 assists. And right now Kimmich with the out-swinging corner, headed clear by Philip Tietz, and the handball from Ryan Gravenberch means he can't keep the chance alive, and going to get a yellow card for Ryan Gravenberch, I think, there for the handball in the end. Wry smile on the face of the Dutch international. It was a handball. I think the yellow card might have been for the fact that he deliberately delayed play there by picking the ball up himself instead of letting Augsburg take a quick free kick. Either way, not quite the introduction to the game that Ryan Gravenberch was looking for. Right now, long ball forward, headed clear by Upamecano, under pressure from Demirovic. Got to say, Upamecano and Min Jae Kim, while he was on the pitch, certainly acquitting themselves well as the centre-back partnership. 2 formidable opponents. Right now, Gravenberch looking for the 1-2 with Davies. This time it is cut out down that right flank for Augsburg. Here is Matthijs de Ligt. Bayern certainly have taken the pace out of proceedings a little bit as we approach the closing stages of this game. But just like they did against Bremen, they wouldn't say no to a 4th. Back-to-back 4-0 wins to start the campaign. You can think of worse ways to get the ball rolling in the Bundesliga. Something tells me that Thomas Tuchel will once again be praising the measure of control that his side had, but I just wonder whether he'll maybe point at the fact that they didn't inject as much pace as often as they could have today, Bayern. Right now, Konrad Laimer injecting the pace down the right. He's got Harry Kane in the middle to aim for. Kane! Oh, the hat-trick was there off the head of Harry Kane, but he just glances it wide of the near post. Brilliant play from Konrad Laimer from right back. Wonderful pass from Goretzka to spot the run, and the early cross from Laimer was brilliant. Right what Harry Kane wanted. Unfortunately, he just got his angles wrong with the header there and couldn't turn it on target. But the chance was there for the hat-trick for Harry Kane. It took Robert Lewandowski 7 Bundesliga match days to score his first brace for Bayern. Harry Kane so close to getting a hat-trick in what would have only been his 2nd Bundesliga outing. It's the type of cross that he's been wanting to work with, not just this weekend, but last weekend as well, because it was the same story for Bayern. Some good, promising crossing positions, but the deliveries not on point. Right now, foot race for Upamecano against Demirovic. Augsburg looking to pull a goal back and measure a bit of pride here. One final act of defiance, perhaps, because there's a chance for Belleau, and they have got a goal back. The offside flag stays down. It's not back-to-back clean sheets for Bayern. And Augsburg do indeed provide a moment of resistance. Sven Ulreich looks disappointed to have conceded, and you understand why, but just for a moment Augsburg overloaded the Bayern final third, and the extra numbers paid off because Tietz, Belleau, Breithaupt, Cardova were all up there. And when Matthijs de Ligt was beaten with the pass, Beljo kept his cool to produce the finish and reduce the arrears to 3-1 for Augsburg. Bayern concede for the first time this season. Last club in the Bundesliga to do so. But of course what that means is that they won't be going top of the table tonight, as things stand, because they needed to win by a 3-goal margin to go above Union Berlin. They were on course to do that, but they now need a 4th goal if they want to rescue or retain their place at the summit, I should say. That's it. Union Berlin also have a +6 goal difference, same as Bayern, but what Union Berlin have done is they've scored a goal more. They've scored 8, conceded 2. Bayern have scored 7, conceded 1, and as a result of the more goals scored, it is Union that keep top spot for the time being. There is, just over 2 minutes of normal time remaining for Bayern to change that. We had a moment, or an opportunity, just before Augsburg reduced the arrears through Harry Kane. He would love to mark his first Bundesliga home game, his first start here at the Allianz Arena with a hat-trick. I mean, what a way to introduce yourself to the Bayern faithful here in Munich. Kimmich driving it forward down the left-hand side. Alphonso Davies. He's got past cards over there, but he's won it back. Alphonso Davies cut back to Gravenberch. Neat footwork in tight spaces. Kimmich now with the cross, but he sends it way too long, and he's got his head in his hands there, Joshua Kimmich, because he knows a better cross there would have really given Harry Kane a chance at bagging that hat-trick. In the end, the cross just a little too long for the Englishman. But what an introduction he has had to life with Bayern. He's been brought in to score the goals, he's been brought in to deliver the titles. And he's delivering on one front so far. Only when we hit the business end of the campaign will we be able to determine whether he delivers on the other front. Davies, goodness me, how dynamic has he been today? I'll tell you what, he talked in the summer, and I hold the thought there's a chance brewing here for Bayern. Gravenberch to Matthijs Tell. Matthijs Tell fashions the shot and sends it over. Good idea. And he almost executed it to perfection. The Frenchman, he did come off the bench against Bremen and score a stunning 4th. This time, just got his angles all wrong and got up and under the ball. In fact, as you can hear, the Zuidkurve raise the decibel level once again as we approach full time. Their side may not be going back to the top of the table today, but 2 wins from 2. An almost perfect start for Bayern, were it not for that goal scored by Dion Beljo just a few moments ago, as we see 4 minutes of time added on at the end of the second half. 4 more minutes for Bayern to score a 4th to go top of the table. Kimmich with an important challenge in midfield to stop Augsburg in their tracks, because Augsburg aren't raising the white flag. They are a side that battle to the end, no matter what the scoreline. Dorsch, lovely footwork in midfield to go past Kimmich. He's got runners ahead of him. He finds Philipp Tietz. Tietz left the ball behind him momentarily, but it's out wide now with Breithaupt. Good cross into the box. Upamecano with the header. Muller with another to complete the clearance, but it's only as far as Robert Gumny. He plays in Mads Pedersen down this left-hand side. Another chance for Augsburg to cross. Good shape on the cross as well, and De Ligt, important header at the back, puts it behind for a corner. It's only the second corner of the game for Augsburg. There's going to be an out-swinging effort from Breithaupt. It's gone low, it's flicked on, and I think they're going to get another corner for their efforts here, Augsburg, which they do. I can tell you, the Augsburg fans still in good voice as well. Up to my left in the top corner of the Allianz Arena. Good couple of thousand of them have made the short trip south to the Bavarian capital. This corner comes in again, fizzed in again. It's put behind this time by Harry Kane for another corner. Irvin Cardona to take. Another outswinger, right-footed. Again, it's towards the near post. Again, it's Harry Kane with the header. Clear. Konrad Laimer with the quick press, putting Mads Pedersen under pressure from the loose ball. Robert Gumny with the throw-in on the far side for Augsburg. Down to the byline with Bellio. Back to Gumny. They're trying to combine their way through here in tight spaces, Augsburg, but Kimmich gets the ball. De Ligt, played the pass back to De Ligt and put him under a whole world of pressure. De Ligt just about kicked the ball clear and prevented it going behind for a corner. Throw in from Mads Pedersen. He gets it back. Chance to cross. Cross deflected, but pumped clear by Leon Goretzka. Sends it into the darkening sky here in Munich as the sun begins to settle, as Udukai now penalised for a high foot on Harry Kane, as those two jostled for position and for possession. Been a good battle between Udukai and Kane. Admittedly, Kane using all his savvy there, and Udukai, you have to say, he did get his foot very high, even if he did get his foot to the ball. Konrad Laimer with the ball inside the Bayern half. No real onus on Bayern to force the issue. Of course, unless Augsburg produce a miracle here in the dying seconds, be a 14th Bundesliga match that they've lost on foreign soil, which will set a new unwanted club record. Their last away win was October in 2022 against Schalke. Right now, Kimmich, lovely ball in behind for Davies. Is there a chance for a fourth here for Bayern? The cross doesn't find Matthijs Tel, headed clear by Dorsch, and then well won in midfield by Gravenberch. He's trying to keep the chance alive. Harry Kane for his hat-trick! Blocked by Udukai. The chance was there. He took the snapshot, but Udukai got the foot in the way. Harry Kane, hand to mouth. He knows it was a good chance. He just wants to score. And now we have hit double digits in terms of corners for Bayern. But we're not going to have a corner taken. Instead, the final whistle goes. Daniel Siebert brings an end to proceedings as Bayern make it 2 wins out of 2 at the start of the Bundesliga campaign. This time a 3-1 win against Augsburg, their Bavarian rivals. They become the first ever team in Bundesliga history to break the 4,000 point mark. But for now, it's not enough to take top spot off of Union Berlin. They move second on goal difference for now, Bayern München. But it was a convincing 3-1 win here in their first Bundesliga home game of the season. The start of big things to come. Harry Kane, the hero, with a brace. The final score, Bayern 3, Augsburg 1. Well, cause for celebration here in Munich. Harry Kane, big things were expected of him in his first Bundesliga home game. He came off the bench in the Super Cup against Leipzig here at the Allianz Arena. But after scoring on his debut against Werder Bremen, it's fair to say the Bayern fans were eagerly anticipating seeing their new striker in action here at the Allianz Arena. And he gave them a taste of exactly what he brings to the table and exactly what's to come from him this season. 2 goals, 1 a penalty, the second a wonderful striker's finish first time from a lovely cross from Alphonso Davies. And while Augsburg did manage to put a goal back through Dion Bellio to reduce the arrears, it takes nothing off the gloss of Bayern's performance today. Harry Kane is the 2-goal hero. Bayern make it 2 wins from 2. And James Surrogate, your match commentator, let me say it was an absolute pleasure to bring you coverage of this encounter. Right now the Südkurve are celebrating, and I will leave them to do so. For now, I will say enjoy the rest of your weekends. Join us again next time when Bayern will be taking on Borussia Mönchengladbach at the Borussia Park. We'll have coverage of it here on the Webradio service. For now, have a great rest of the weekend and a great week. Goodbye.